from Wildflour. I have a special treat for you today. So everybody's been asking about how we do our veggie stir-fry, and that's what I'm gonna show you today, our vegetable stir-fry. So these are all the vegetables that I'm gonna use, and you can use any vegetable that you have in your house. So like I said before in my other video, at the end of the week, I take all of the extra vegetables and I take and make a vegetable stir-fry out of it. So you can use whatever you have. We are huge stir-fry fans, so we always have bok choy available for our stir-fry. We have the shiitake mushrooms from our Imperfect Foods, which we absolutely love. We have bell peppers, we have an onion, and we have broccoli, and then we have some green onion. And then a couple of things we're gonna use is we have a Lighthouse sesame ginger dressing. We have some sriracha, and then we also have some soy sauce. So I'm gonna take the leftover rice from the taco bowls and I'm gonna use that to make fried rice. Everything chopped up, what I do is I just put everything kind of into compartments on what I'm gonna cook first and then next and then so on. I put it in order of what is going to go into the wok first. So I have the bell peppers and the onions, then I'm gonna put in the broccoli. After that, I'm gonna put in the bok choy, the mushrooms, then I have the tops of the bok choy, and then I have some green onions. So I'm kind of gonna go in that order. You wanna put in first what's gonna take the longest to cook. So if you have carrots, something like that, you're gonna wanna put that in first. If you have something like these nice greens, you're gonna wanna put those in last. We wanna make sure that we keep our vegetables al dente. We don't wanna overcook them. We want them still to have a nice crunch to them. That way we're not losing all of those nutrients. So for our fried rice, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some oil in the pan. I'm using olive oil, but I like to use sesame oil if I have it. However, we're quarantined and I don't have any sesame oil, so I'm just gonna use regular olive oil for this. I have my pan nice and hot, so I'm gonna add in my rice. You hear that? So this rice is left over from our taco bowls. We use rice a lot around here, so this is a good way to use up your rice that you have left over, is make a nice fried rice. You can even make this your entire dish fried rice. You don't have to have the stir fry to go with it. You can make an entire dinner out of this fried rice. I'm gonna let that cook until it gets nice and crisp. You want to make sure this gets nice and hot, the rice starts to get a little bit crispy, and then we're going to add in the eggs and the soy sauce and the green onions. A little bit of pepper, but I never add salt because the soy sauce is often way too salty. Now, this was all we had available. Usually I like the green top that has the low sodium. That way I can add whatever I need, but typically I don't need anything else. So if I'm using the red top, I definitely don't add any salt, just some pepper to help flavor. So our rice is nice and hot. The next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add our soy sauce to this. A fair amount. So I'm gonna create a well inside my pan here, just a nice little opening. I'm gonna put my eggs right inside of there. Kind of scramble them up. Once I have them a little bit scrambled, then I'm going to toss in with the rest of my rice. you could add carrots, you could add diced onion, you could add whatever you want in here and make it a full meal. Some meat, anything. Leftover pork, whatever you want, and make it a complete meal. We're gonna use this to go with our vegetable stir fry. And we're done. Okay, so we are ready to get started. What I have here is a very hot cast iron wok. I have it on high, okay, because I want to get a nice sear on all of my vegetables. So I have my cast iron wok on high. I've let it go for at least 5 minutes to get nice and hot, and we're gonna start putting our vegetables in. If you don't have a wok at home, it's totally fine. You don't need a wok. You just need some kind of skillet. So cast iron is always best because it heats really well, but if you don't have that either, just any pan will work. Just make sure you get it nice and hot, and then we're gonna put our vegetables in, put a little bit of oil in, and then we'll go from there. So remember, we're gonna go in order of how things are going to be done and how they're going to cook. What's gonna take the longest and then what's gonna be the fastest. So we're gonna start with our peppers and our onions. So with a pan this hot, what I do is I throw in my vegetables first, and then I'll put my oil in just because I don't wanna splatter anything on me. And I usually have a baby running around here, so I don't wanna get oil on him either. So throw all of our peppers and onions in first. Oh, the smell already is just incredible. So you can see they're already starting to turn brown. I'm gonna grab my oil. Remember, this is stir fry, so we are gonna use a little bit of oil. If you wanna use sesame oil, go ahead and use sesame oil. Remember, it has a strong flavor, so you just want to use a little bit. So what I usually do is I'll use some olive oil, and then I'll add in a little bit of sesame oil on top of that. And you're just going to keep stirring it. You don't want anything to get too brown, too dark. So I'm going to let these go for a little while before I add in my next vegetables. All right, so next up is going to be our broccoli. The broccoli stems are kind of tough, so we want to make sure that we get that going. All of our broccoli in here. The best part about stir fry is that you can add in whatever you have. The whole point of fried rice and stir fry is to use up whatever you have in your refrigerator. You can do chicken, you can do beef, you can do tofu, or you can just do vegetables. We like to eat the vegetable stir fry without the meat at least once a week. Whatever vegetables you have available. All right, so next I'm gonna add in the bottom of my bok choy, so it's a little bit harder. So I'm gonna put that in next. Now remember, I cut the tops off because the tops wilt pretty fast, so I don't want that in yet, just the bottom. You can add in a little more oil if you need. For stir fry, make sure you have your hood fan on and your windows open because you don't want to set off the smoke alarm. We do that a lot around here. Mushrooms. Then we're going to add some fresh ginger. So if you remember in our Imperfect Foods box, we got some fresh ginger. Now you can grate this in with a zester, or we like to have big chunks of it, so we're gonna go ahead and throw the big chunks of it in. I'm also gonna add in some whole garlic. John and I are big on flavor, so we love to bite into those big pieces of garlic, the big pieces of ginger, big pieces of ground pepper. Just keep moving everything in the pan. Then we're gonna add in our tops of our bok choy. Let those kind of wilt down in there. Just want to remember to constantly move the food because the pan is so hot. You don't want anything to get too charred. Then we have, last but not least, our green onion. Okay, so let's talk sauce. Now that we have all of the vegetables inside of here and everything's cooked the way that we want it to be. Now remember, look at this. Everything has bright, beautiful color. Nothing is overcooked. Everything is still al dente. Now we're gonna build our sauce. A lot of different options from here of what you can do. So you can build your own sauce and you can just put a little bit of soy sauce in there, some orange juice in there, maybe a little bit of brown sugar to kind of take that salt out of there and the acidity. And then you can also use a different sauce, so one that is already prepared for you. A lot of times what we do is we'll bring home teriyaki sauce from the cafe because we make our own there. If we're in a pinch, we'll use Veggie teriyaki. That one is really good. And today we're quarantined. We're out of teriyaki sauce. We used our soy sauce for our fried rice. So I have some sesame ginger dressing, and I'm just going to pour a little bit of that in there. Mix it in with all the vegetables. At this point, I've turned off my heat. This is just steam. But now I have my sauce mixed in with all the vegetables, soaking it up nicely in there. And that's it. You just add the sauce to the pan and you're done. Now to serve it up. All right, so now we're gonna bowl it up. So we have our fried rice. Right there on the bottom. Then we'll add in our vegetables. Make sure we get lots of sauce in there. All right, then I'm gonna take some sriracha, put it over the top. John loves sriracha, so I add extra on his. And then we use the seaweed, the toasted nori. We love that, and so I just kind of garnish that on the side here. Do you love stir fry? Yes. And then we're ready to go. Dinner is served. This is a very quick meal. It uses up everything that you have in your refrigerator that you need to get rid of. It's a great meal. Thank you very much for joining us. I look forward to sharing another video with you, but until then, stay home, stay safe, and stay well.